I don't need a whining little weakling on the front lines. I want a fucking brute. At the Modern War Institute here, we've got women aren't the problem, standards are. Changing culture takes time. It took U.S. infantry 5 years and 5,000 deaths to abandon the idea of trench warfare. Okay? 55 years. It took the U.S. cavalry 25 years to accept that armored tanks were better than horses against a machine gun. It took the U.S. Supreme Court almost 60 years to decide that separate but equal was anything but equal, and black Americans should attend school along. This is some S-tier manipulation. Last year, Heather McDonald's Wall Street Journal op-ed argued that women don't belong in combat units. They don't. In it, MacDonald makes 4 claims. First, that women are physiologically incapable of handling combat. Pretty true. Second, that women cannot meet physical standards. Well, the military seemed to abide by that by lowering the physical standards for women. Next, that the inevitable introduction of arrows will erode unit cohesion. That's having women in there. Guys will want to fuck them and get simpy, right? Finally, military polices should only be made to improve combat effectiveness. While I agree with many of her premises and beliefs, I disagree with her conclusion that the U.S. military's combat armed branches do not need to ban women. They need to fix their standards problem. That's right. Women should get an equal opportunity to die in the front lines and become... I mean, it's fucking insane at this point. It's fucking insane. And whoever wrote this article, Micah Abels, let's take a look. Please, let me just see a picture of this guy. Please show me this guy. Okay, I guarantee that guy hasn't fucking even been in the military. Why is this not working? He might have been fired. I am slimmer and slighter than most of my infantry peers. A problem many women infantry aspirants also face. Upon commissioning, I weighed 155 pounds. I soon tore my shoulder labrum while grappling and training with soldiers 30 to 70 pounds heavier. Oh, so, I mean, this makes sense now when I'm reading this shit. So you're a weak man, and a stronger man defeated you in training. So what you're telling me is that a stronger, bigger opponent defeated you in simulated combat for war training. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and want more of the stronger and bigger dudes and less of the whiny dudes that write articles for these fucking soy-ass websites here. I didn't have time for surgery, so I carried on, went to basic infantry officer leader course, where I gritted my teeth through a collapsed arch in my foot. Pressing forward, I went to Ranger School, which I flunked after contracting pneumonia. As soon as I was medically cleared to start walking, I ran to Airborne School before eventually returning to complete Ranger School. Years later, I assumed company command with an Achilles tendonitis and partially torn bicep, but I did not let that stop me from leading my company on runs or ruck marches and in combat training. Physical injuries are part of the job, part of pushing and trying to meet a standard. One of the Army sayings I hate the most is, you gotta break a few eggs to make an omelet. But it rings true in a sense of combat, and training for combat produces injuries. Some people, regardless of gender, handle the strain of combat and training better than others. Yeah, and I want the ones in combat who can handle it better, because war is life or death. Period. I don't need a fucking crybaby. Okay? I don't need a whining little weakling on the front lines. I want a fucking brute, because war is brutal. I want somebody that's going to smash the enemy's head open and drink his brains. Okay? I don't want somebody who's going to fucking beat him in chess.